Greetings everyone, so I just wanted to do a brief video on the writings of Maria Valtorta, or particularly the poem of the man god. I was thinking about this recently, and the fact of the matter is that if this is true, if these writings are based on real visions that Maria Valtorta had of the life of Jesus, then surely this would be the second most important book that a Christian should own after the Bible, because it goes into detail about the life of Christ, his early life, and then later on when he was doing his various works, preaching and performing miracles, etc. It goes into all these kinds of details that the Gospels don't go into. In fact, the first 30 years of Jesus' life is essentially glossed over in the Gospels. You get his birth, you get one moment from his childhood when his parents are looking for him and find him in the temple. And then you pretty much move on to the reason why he was put on this earth. And that is to share the truth and preach to the people and tell them about the kingdom of heaven, set them down the right path so that they can be saved, so that we can be saved. And Maria Valtorta has gone into a lot more depth when it comes to the life of Jesus. And of course, I did make sure to say, to preface this with, if these visions are true, if these writings are based on real visions, then it's something that's a must own for a Christian. Given that Christianity is centered on Jesus, hence the name Christianity, you'd think you should own a book that talks about various details of his life. Now, of course, you can decide whether you believe this or not, and if you don't believe it, then it makes perfect sense for you not to want to read any of this stuff, because you feel, why should you read this if this could quite clearly be false? Perhaps you think it is false, perhaps you think it's possible that it's false, so you don't want to risk reading things about Jesus that could not be true. I think Medjugorje plays a big part in people believing that it is true. And the reason for that is that allegedly Mary, in one of the many apparitions she's had in Medjugorje, was asked whether this book was legitimate, whether it was real, whether Maria Valtorta had had these visions. And she said that it was real and it was okay to read it. And again, if you believe Medjugorje to be legitimate and true, that is a pretty big stamp of approval given by the Blessed Mother. And you should own this book. Or I should say these books, because there's a collection of them. I believe there are 10 of them. But of course, if you do not believe Medjugorje to be legitimate, then you are not interested in what Mary supposedly said about this book, because you don't believe she's appearing there. Now, the first time when I was in Medjugorje, I was there as part of a tour group, and one of the perks offered to us was that we could receive the poem of the man God in digital form for free. And this was done via WhatsApp, because apparently by email it was tricky to send it, so you just had to give your number and then this would be sent in various parts to you over WhatsApp. And so I actually own this very, very long piece of writing split into various books in digital form. And I am prepared, if you wish to have this as well, to send this over to you, because I received it for free, so I don't see why, if somebody else would like it, they can't receive it for free. So I'll tell you in just a few moments what to do if you want to have a copy of this. I will say I haven't actually read through this because it's very long, and because I generally don't like reading things in digital form. I'll read some articles occasionally or a bit of news online, but when it comes to reading books in digital form, I'm not a fan. I just think it's not the same as reading it on paper. I much prefer to read them on paper. And so, given how long this is, and it's very long, I think each book, and it's made up of 10 books, is about 500 or so pages, so that is a lot to read. And even though it's intriguing to me, I haven't started it. I know it is available to purchase in book form. It's actually not that easy to get hold of it in book form. I've looked in various places, because I have considered buying it, and in a lot of places like Amazon, for example, you can maybe purchase one of the books. There are a couple of websites that I found where you can buy the whole lot, the whole collection. It's not cheap. On one website I saw it for around $300, for the collection of books. On another, I think I saw it for $230. I suppose it's not that bad. If it's $230 for 10 books, that works out $23 per book. However many pounds that would be, probably less than £20. So it's doable. It isn't shocking, the price, but you know, if you want the whole thing, then you're going to have to spend a little bit of money. So as I said, if you would like a digital copy of this, and I think I can do this, if anyone sees any reason why I shouldn't be doing this, do let me know. But I don't see any problem in me sending this on to people if they want it, because I got it for free and people who have been to Medjugorje can get it for free. So no money is being made from this digital version anyway. Hence, I think I can pass it on to people if they wish to have it. So if you wish to have a digital copy of these writings of Maria Valtorta, the poem of the man god, then get in touch with me by email and I will provide you with that in the description underneath this video. Do get in touch with me, let me know your name and leave me your number, and you will need WhatsApp for this because I have it on WhatsApp and I would send it on to you by WhatsApp, and that's entirely up to you. And again, as I said, I understand if people are not comfortable with reading this for now because it hasn't received any church approval. As far as I'm aware, Maria Valtorta hasn't been beatified, she hasn't been made a saint. Her writings haven't received any stamp of approval by the church, and for this reason people may be wary about reading anything from her. It isn't like other saints who have had various visions. They're saints, so we can take it as read that their visions were most probably true. It isn't even like the Blessed Anne Catherine Emmerich, who has been beatified. So I think. So her visions of Christ's crucifixion, actually she had a number of visions, including a vision of the beginning of the world, but her visions of Christ's crucifixion are likely to be true. And in fact, they were used in the film Passion of the Christ by Mel Gibson. He used her writings to help him portray what was going on in the movie. As I said, Maria Valtorta hasn't been approved in any way. There are members of the clergy who are supportive of her work. I've heard that supposedly John Paul II had copies of her writing in his room or something. I don't know if that's something I can confirm for sure. So people can look at it either way, you know. And as I said, if you're a believer in Medjugorje, you're much more likely to believe these works to be legitimate because you believe Mary is appearing there and you believe the messages that are coming from there. And so if she has said that it's okay to read this because it's true, these are real visions that Maria Valtorta had, then surely you're going to want to have this. You're going to want to have this poem of the man god. But if you're unsure, then you'll probably be a little bit more cautious. So anyway, folks, as I said, yeah, do get in touch if you want me to send that over. Leave your thoughts. What do you think about Maria Valtorta? Do you think it's legitimate? Have you read through it? Have you read through any of it? Is it something you're looking at reading, or is it something that doesn't interest you unless it gets some kind of stamp of approval from the church? Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video, folks. I don't say this very much, but do give the video a like if you liked it. It does help it sort of be more visible on YouTube. I know some people announce that at the beginning of just about every video. I don't like doing that, but it does help the video if you give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when videos are put out. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.